Hi everyone. I just wanted to take this opportunity to try to help you a little bit with Chapter 3. So my screen won't be as clear as I'd like it to be, but at least it will give you the gist of things. Before you begin Chapter 3, be sure you have downloaded the MOP7E student data files, and you can visit the textbook website. When you go there, you'll see that there's some videos that help you with that process on how to download your files to your computer. You can also refer to Appendix A in your textbook. When I went out there to look at the video, the file that they were demonstrating had CIMO7E, so don't let that confuse you. The files that you have should say MOP7E. And that video was just a demonstration on how to do it. Once you have done your download, I downloaded mine to the desktop. You can see it right here so that it's a little bit easier to locate. And this file is zipped. So in order to unzip it, if you have Windows 7, you will just simply double click on that file, and you'll notice there's an application file right here. And I just simply double click on that, and it will ask us a series of questions. Do you want to allow the following program from an unknown publisher to make changes? And you can just say yes. If yours may not come up like that, I just have some additional protection on my computer. And then you just say you agree on the license agreement, and then it installs very quickly. Okay, and then just finish. And then you simply close out of that zip, and you just there's nothing else to do with that. Just leave it there for the time being, and I'm just going to close it back out. Then I am going to begin using Metasoft by just double clicking on Metasoft. You should have already of course installed that. Remember, in my emails I told you all that the files that we use with Metasoft are not like your regular files. You can't just double click and it automatically opens Metasoft. You have to go into Metasoft first in order to use your student data files. So I'm just going to go into Metasoft, and when you do this, you should note up in the title bar that it says Metasoft Advanced MOP7E. What Metasoft does is it automatically pulls those student data files in. And then what we've got to do is to save these files. Once we are finished using Metasoft for the day, we will save those files to our flash drive or to another location, wherever you want to save your files, because what we're going to do is create a backup file with our name on it, so each person has their unique identity, so that when it comes time for you to submit those files to me, that I'll know who they belong to. So the first thing that they're asking you to do in Chapter 3 is for Project 3.5. You will be taking messages for Dr. Larson, and please note that today's date is October 13th. That's one thing that we have to do every time that we use Metasoft. You should go down in the bottom lower right hand corner. There's a date there. Of course, mine says August 30th because my system is picking up the current date. We always have to change this so that our simulation and our projects come out correctly to a future date. So you would simply click on that date, and then what you do to change it, you can use the arrows, but you can also just click on the month. Right here's the name of the month, and I'm going to change that by clicking it one time. I'll change it to October, and it says the date you have selected is a future date. You'll just click OK, and then you have to click it again. And we're going to change the year this time, so I'm going to click on that year, and I'm going to change that year to 2014. I kind of went too far there. Let me try that again. Sorry about that. Here we go. 2014. You might have to play with that a little bit. So my date now is October, and I'm going to go here again one more time and change that to October 13th, 2014. So be sure to change your date every single time so that your projects will come out correctly. Project 3.5 again is asking you to take some messages for Dr. Larson. And so there are some working papers in the back of your book, working papers 9 through 16 with these forms, these little message slips for you to take messages. Just complete those. There's two ways you can do this. You can either use the working papers and then scan the completed message slips and send those to me electronically, or you could create your own message slips in Microsoft Word and then submit those to me. Okay? For projects 7, 8, and 9, we will be using Metasoft. And I just want to just briefly show you the appointment calendar, and then again in the appendix of your book are very step-by-step instructions, but Metasoft comes with an appointment feature certainly. So our first assignment is to create, if you look on your project 3.7, it says we're going to put these appointments in, and these are appointments that Dr. Larson has for a university meeting, a dinner meeting, and a lecture. And it says in your instructions, it says to use the break entry shortcut. So we can go to activities and on the menu bar and then go to appointment book, or we can simply click on the icon which looks like a little calendar, and it says appointment book. So a couple of different ways there. I'm going to click on my appointment book, and then you will create your appointment by clicking on that little break entry. There's a little coffee cup looking symbol there. You'll click on that, and then you will be able to enter your appointments. Okay? Let me close out of this. This was a list. That's not exactly what I want here. Hold on. Notice that this is already filled in. I'm taking a look at Dr. Larson's calendar, and you can see that there are already appointments in the appointment book, and then we will create a break entry. Click on break entry. It's the second icon over with a little coffee cup symbol, and I am going to enter Dr. Larson's first break meeting is the university meeting on October 16th, so I'm going to change this date to the 16th, and it is from 5 to 6 p.m. So I'm going to click here, 5 p.m. and it's 60 minutes, so we will just simply type that in or use your scroll bars. Okay, and save that entry. Simple as that. Okay, so there it is. It shows up in this kind of fuchsia color. You can change the colors of your background. So this is your calendar, so you can make it however you would like. Okay. When we're finished with entering all those appointments, so you'll simply go through project 3.7, then 3.8 has you put in some more appointments, and then 3.9 has you delete some appointments and cancel some appointments. So just, get used to using the appointment calendar, scroll across the icons, see what each one of those say. You can't hurt anything, just click on those items and experiment a little bit with it. And when we are finished with using the calendar, then we have to go back to exit out of this program when we're finished for the day. And when we do, it takes you back to the Metasoft window, and then I am going to also ask you to go ahead and take a look at some of these tools, and also take a look at patient information. There's patient information. Get used to seeing those names. The very first patient on there is Monica Armstrong. And scroll on down. Get used to seeing those names. You'll see a lot of those throughout the rest of the semester. And so familiarize yourself with Metasoft. I'm going to close out of this, and I'm just saying I've entered all my stuff for the day and I'm getting ready to end. When you get ready to exit out, if you just click on the close button, it's going to ask you for a backup, or if I do file and exit, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to ask you for a backup. And this is where you will save your data to the F drive or G drive, whatever your flash drive represents. Okay, so I'm going to back up data, and it's going to give me this little message, and I'm going to say OK. Okay? Now, what I want to do is to actually click Find. I'm going to save this to my flash drive, so I'm going to scroll on down, find your flash drive, or wherever you want to keep it. I'm just going to put it on my flash drive. Sorry about that.
You just tell me. Hello?
Removable disk F, sorry about that. Okay, and then this is where you will name it with your name, your initials, and your last name, and start backup. Okay. And it's putting that date, it automatically puts the date in OK. Then we'll close out of that. Then the next time that you use Metasoft, you will go to restore that data. So we go into Metasoft, we go to File, and Restore Data, and then you will find your data file, the one that we just used. Now it always comes up to the last one that you used, so we could just click on that one. It remembers where you last saved your files, so wherever you saved it, your flash drive or your hard drive is going to pull that up. And then begin Start Restore, and then click OK. You'll do this each and every time you use Metasoft, okay? And then close out. And then it just picks up everything that you did on that backup file. Every time you add something to your Metasoft data, it will be backed up and restored. Each time you use Metasoft, you've got to go through that restore data process so that your files stay correct. If this were for real in a real doctor's office, we would not have to go through this process. We would just use, it would simply open the data automatically, but for our purposes we have to use these steps. So I hope this is helpful to you. If you have any questions or problems, I know this is kind of not the greatest presentation, but maybe it'll help you to get off to a good start on Chapter 3. Thank you.